Welcome back to SEO Talk, episode 129. And yeah, let's get started. I'll share a couple of thoughts around the topic that we are going to discuss. So, things there are folks who have been there in the SEO space for 2 decades, and the whole search engine was built around a simple idea. Someone searches for a keyword and Google shows a blue link, and we as SEOs optimize that page to win that click. But since last 3 years, AI search and specifically last 1.5 year, um, the whole AI search has changed the organic search discovery in a whole different way. Um, People are not searching only once. People are trying to have conversations. They keep on asking a lot of follow-up questions if they are not satisfied, because now they have the luxury of doing that. And yeah, people ask a very very long prompt using audio tools like Whisper and some other tools as well. And uh, now we are moving towards people's behavior changing and adapting towards making decisions inside AI interfaces. So today we are not here to talk about any tactics or hacks around SEO, but rather we are here to talk about how SEO thinking itself needs to evolve. What changes when keywords are no longer the unit of optimization and conversations have become the whole battleground. That's where we'll start our session today. And hey Isha, welcome. Over to you, Malarvai.
All right. No, fantastic. Great context. And like you rightly mentioned, uh, it is not just the search part that is changing, it is more like our behavior to discover anything is changing, right? So uh, we are more focused on having conversation now and asking follow up questions, comparing options, moving closer to a decision in the same search journey. So, unlike previously, what we had is okay, we searched for certain terms, looked at a certain uh, results, clicked on it, and moved forward to continue the transaction. But now the entire journey is kind of getting little longer, and that's where we are going to talk about the entire conversational search as a fundamental story. And that's where my first question also lies in terms of how we are looking at conversational search and how it is fundamentally different from traditional keyword based search. Part of it we just mentioned as part of the context, but if you want to elaborate.
Okay. So with this question, I think so. Let's go a little. Let's try to think of it from first principles, probably. So keyword search was pure transactional game. Like you search for a keyword and you are right away looking for a landing page where you can satisfy your intent, whether it's informational, navigational, commercial, blah blah blah. But now the search interface that we have been using for last year and a half, it's all about conversations, and it's all about conversational search, which is kind of exploratory in nature. Earlier, we as SEOs had a goal to match a particular keyword query. Now the goal is to stay relevant across a sequence of questions. So the intent unfolds probably with level 2, level 3 deeper prompts, And now these LLM systems have these algorithms which decides who stays in the conversation and who gets dropped. So it's important how this new AI search is different than the classic search SEO.
Okay, fantastic. Isha, Deepak, if you want to add to it, how do you see conversational search being different from traditional keyword based search?
Okay, so coming to the question, I think Parth has actually put in the context also pretty well. And right now also he placed it very rightly that, uh, so I mean, I have two views here. One is that, see, base is still the same. Previously, we used to think more keyword centric, and we used to miss the fact that previously also it is all about the user and the consumers and what they are looking into. And our SEO strategy was always very heavy on the based on the algorithm and the industry leaders and what and the experiments which and hypotheses which people have seen. But now, one thing which is very clear is that, uh, so I would say that basically we have evolved. We have evolved from the basic keywords to synonyms, and from the synonyms to the context, and from the context now to the answer engine, where the AI itself is predicting or understanding your behavior and accordingly asking you specific things. So now, now when we are doing or we are approaching in our SEO strategy, I think we should stop thinking keyword, and we should also stop thinking that okay, it is a conversation. Rather than that, we should start thinking this is a commodity, that okay, this is a place where we want us to be. Like, what is that industry where we want to be a leader into? What is that space we want to basically capture? Where exactly we want to show ourselves as an intelligence engine, and accordingly create our strategies well around it.
Oh, fantastically put. Deepak, you want to add something?
Um, no, I think I'm aligned with mm, Parth and Isha.
Okay, cool. So, moving into the user behavior search, right? So, what you mentioned is more the fundamental difference between conversation and traditional. But again, if I relate it to the user behavior, so how do you think that fundamentally has changed when they are interacting with an AI versus how they are interacting with Google search, even in the current situation when you have an AI or you answering a part of it? Yes,
Oh,
Deepak.
that's yeah. Go
No.
ahead, Deepak.
So the fundamental difference that you know, um, that we have now between classical search and LLM answering is that it's now a part of decision making. Like, I know there are 5 smartphones out there in my budget, but instead of myself going into details, what are details and what are the specifications that I am looking for, I just put everything I my budget, and I am focusing on camera and battery and processor. I just put it into ChatGPT and I ask ChatGPT, okay, give me the best smartphone in this criteria, and it makes decision on users' behalf. So this is the fundamental difference that we are seeing between LLM search and classical search.
Interesting. Yes, Parth.
Yeah, I think so. Earlier, like the user had to do a lot of uh, what I would say is preparation before searching a query. So, if a user was searching a two-word, three-word, four-word, or max five-word keyword on Google, uh, pre-AI era, they would visualize or imagine that, hey, I'm looking for this website which will provide me something like this answers or a tabular information or a bullet point something. So the user had to do a lot of brainstorming even before searching because if they were not able to find something, they will have to retype the whole keyword and stuff like that. Now the users don't have to think clearly upfront. They start with a very vague question, and on the way they improvise on their question, and then they ask better questions after seeing the first answer on the AI platform that they're using. So AI platforms absorbs the overall cognitive load that search engines never could in the past. And this particular behavioral change, it changes everything about how content discovery works. Because earlier, whenever someone used to click a blog and then read the first paragraph, second paragraph, just to understand the intro part of what they're going to expect. But now that's being done on the AI surface, and then you have a citation where you can click and find the exact value or a calculator or a tool to use. Or probably if you are passionate enough about aviation, like you'll go inside and read the whole conspiracy theory or whatever around MH370 crash or something like that. So yeah, my raw thoughts. But yeah, Isha, if you have anything to add.
Okay, so I think you broadly covered that, but I would say that discovery right now. So fundamental difference right now is that uh, SEO once was always used to be, or rather, search engine was a channel which was used for discovery, which has changed. So that's so from the user perspective, I would say that channel itself has changed because search is if we talk about search engine, they are no more just from the discovery perspective. And if we talk about AI, because people know that they can get more out of it, people are experimenting and going beyond it. Again, it's very controversial right now because it depends on industry to industry. Uh, but secondly, if I really have to talk about the fundamental difference from executional standpoint, the basic difference is previously we were very heavy on so if I talk from a brand perspective, whatever brands used to have as their own assets, for example, their own website, their own social media, their own assets, multiple assets which they used to be creating. They always used to be heavy on them. Now it's not just about your own assets; it's all about your authority, where you are being talked. Uh, Apart from your assets, what are other people talking about you? And now things are no more restricted towards the website or your assets. Things have gone way beyond the complete web. So that's two differences, one from the operational side and one from the user side.
Very nicely put. And if I have to simplify it a bit, right, it is the earlier search was more of a single query mindset, and now what we are looking at is more multiple ways to get discovered. So, and that also aligns with my next question in terms of, see, all of us are tuned to optimize content, optimize websites for single query. How will that change? And will we still have a part of our strategy that will optimize for a single query, and maybe also have a parallel strategy where you plan on getting discovered through multiple queries or Q&As or conversation search.
I think so. It's very risky. Earlier, we used to we used to have a focus keyword, and then still I think so WordPress shows it, the rank math and the Yoast and those plugins, that the whole content of your page is dependent on the focus keyword and all of that. But it's very risky now, like if a page that answers only one question, I think so that page is going to be a dead end in a conversational flow if we think about it. कोई कोई एक ही कीवर्ड या एक ही कुछ सर्च कर रहा है एंड आगे जाके वहां पे मतलब इफ दैट पर्सन हु इज सर्चिंग उसको कोई वहां से कोई और आंसर नहीं मिल रहा, लाइक हाउ इज दैट गोइंग टू हेल्प? एंड if the content does not anticipate what's going to come next, so AI is obviously going to kind of pull answer from another source and give them credit by citing their uh, web page for sure. And if that keeps on happening, brands will lose the share of voice for that particular topical authority. Yep.
Fantastic. Isha?
So here I would say, Malal, I would say that now, like the way we are slowly moving out of keyword, we should also start slowly moving out of single page strategy. I would say that, the brands and I mean, most of the websites, the brands and the people who want them to be visible needs to start thinking more like a growth hacker and not just as a pure content creator or a SEO person who's just fueling the number of content. So if you ask me right now, we should not think it from single page strategy. We should start thinking it like how the magazines are being created. Like if I have a website, how should I design my website content in a way that it creates an authority and it answers most of the things which my customers are also tend to, and and rather far more than what my customers are looking into, and they have to start thinking of that how is their website needs to be placed. Now they should not now to add that, people should also start going beyond just blog as one of the content strategy. They should start thinking of that, you know, uh, when we talk about the whole knowledge panel, how are we going to utilize the complete knowledge panel? And how are we utilizing the not just the textual content, how are we utilizing the video content? How are we ensuring that we are creating a commodity in the podcast level? How are we ensuring that our management is constantly talking about it? So things have to be go far beyond that. This page answers this. Things has to be now focused on. This is a place where I want, like, if, for example, if I am uh, someone who's selling something related to, maybe I'll just give an hypothetical example that I'm somebody uh, who's maybe who has created a toffee which serves the sugar free or diabetic people. I have to ensure that I create a commodity around that particular industry. If any problem which they're asking, they are relying on me. So that's the kind of approach which brands now have to start thinking of.
Wow, fantastic. Deepak?
What was the question,
Okay.
Malhar bhai?
We used to see, as SEO professionals, we used to optimize for single query earlier, right? And but now discovery are happening through multiple conversation with AI tools, etc. So One is, as part of your strategy this year, will you still retain and look at answering or optimizing for single query also, and have a parallel strategy where you'll also look at and getting discovered for through multiple queries?
Yeah, so yeah, I think I have, um, left using keywords far back. I pick topics and try to, narrow down that topic into subsection instead of using one query and the whole content around that keyword only. So this is my strategy from past, and it makes sense because no one is searching queries keywords on LLMs. They are asking questions, they are asking follow up questions, so you need to answer all the questions if you want to get cited into your answer these LLM answers.
Nice, well put up. Okay, moving or rather shifting the gears, right, in terms of, because Isha, you also mentioned about how we should be thinking as content designers, and a part of it, Deepak also mentioned, that is looking at a topic first approach, right? So, uh, again, as a SEO professionals, right, what would be your suggestion to the content writers now? One is, say, divide your content into smaller chunks. Answer, or something that we are also looking at is like, have your subtopics as questions, so that if any follow-up questions are coming for any topic, you have content, etc. So what is that rethink that is needed for SEOs, as well as what is that rethink SEOs should pass on to the content writers now? Parth?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, pass it. Move on to
Go ahead, Isha.
okay, okay. So, okay, if the question is more from the content writer perspective, um, so I'll tell you a recent case which came up and which made me thinking. I feel now we SEOs and even the writers uh, we all have to stop thinking the keyword approach, and we have to start thinking the brand approach. Here again, this might looks like repetitive, but but for me, a writer has to have the in-depth knowledge of your customer. Is that is very important for me. And and when, so if I have to give some guidelines to my writer, previously the way we used to give the SEO level guideline, now we are giving them more of a brand level guideline. That understand your customers well. That customers also and this is also, we are further divided into that who are your customers. So you always doesn't have the direct customers. You have some indirect customers. You have influencers also. So ensure that you bifurcate all of them separately. Second is ensure you have a psyche mentioned below them, that what kind of content and the language which they consume into. Third is below that, which are the channels they usually go into, and then with individual channel, what is the kind of content strategy which has to be there. So that's how we have changed our approach. Our content approach is no more silos to, because if you want to create a topical authority, it cannot be the silos to your keyword approach. It has to be synced with the brand and the topic and the industry level approach.
So are we also looking at tying it something like an entity relationship, right? So a brand plus keyword kind of approach.
See, of course, it has to be a brand plus keyword kind of approach, but I like already Deepak mentioned, and same, I would also say that I've moved out of uh, talking about brand and keyword because there's nothing called as keyword. We have stopped talking about keyword. So brand is obviously you have to, when you're creating the content, you have to see how you are placing your brand. Whether some places you are directly promoting your brand, whether some places you are subtly talking about your brand, interlinking your brand to that commodity in a way. So you the writer, and that is why this whole exercise needs to be done. That what is the psyche of the customer, what kind of platforms they are using, how is that platform consume the content, whether the platform can be whether in that platform I can directly promote my product and services, or whether that platform is more of where we cannot directly talk about it, but we might need to create constant talk so that people start resonating my brand to that particular industry.
Okay, that brings to another question of little follow up in terms of, so are we looking at other platforms more from a distribution point of view or an engagement point of view? And I'm telling the basis of my question is, are you also suggesting those team members to look at which platform is driving more engagement, or are you just saying, okay, here are 5 other platforms, ensure we have content pushed across all those platforms, engagement बाद में देखेंगे?
Uh, for me, if I would say it's a mixed of approach. Now, it all depends on what is my that objective at that point of time for that particular brand. A is the brand looking into that I want to create a topical authority. Then I would say ensure that you are present across, because engagement will start coming once you create that authority in the community by itself. So but if it is for a brand who has already worked on, who already has created a particular level, then we think of those platforms who will now create some level of authority for them, and just making the like just having present will not cater it. So it all depends on where we are at this point of time, like as a brand, where are you present, which are the channels which are already driving you traffic, what is your outcome? Are you looking into this exercise more only from AIO and SEO perspective, where my objective is that, okay, I have to be there in AIO engines, where I have to ensure that my brand is visible across, like my PRs are happening. We have a lot of, we have ensured that our brand is being talked about every industry, places where things are there. That's one. If brand is coming to you from organic marketing standpoint, that organically we want to reach more, now because the behavior is changing, what is another strategy which we should think of, this basic which we have already reach to, then you need to think of that, okay, should we then we start going into the whole storytelling kind of a thing, that who in amongst your uh, people, like with it now we have also started doing that. We're asking our brands that please create some brand communicator at your ends. Who are those people who will be, like your people who will be talking about your brand across different engines, so that people, so that the person can relate to that also, and that create the authority other way around, and they are the ones who are talking about you across the web, not just social media, but they are the ones who are going to multiple podcasts, they are the ones who are going to the events, and we are creating the content around those events. So it is like a I mean, things are now no more as simple as the way it was earlier. Now the blueprint is not like, you can just create it, print it, and give it to
Fantastic. Lovely inputs. And Parth, Deepak, if you want to add.
No, I think so. Isha summed it up really well. Yeah.
Okay, I'll move to the next one in terms of very fundamental stuff, and I know many of you will have a very good laugh on this. Uh, what happens to the linking game that all of us used to chase and love to chase it? Yeah, what happens to that?
It is still
Oh,
there.
internal. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
No, sorry, sorry, but no, I'm saying it is still there. It is still there. Malab, wherever links are possible, it is still there. I would say that because of this AIO, one thing good which has happened is that previously, where we just used to have the brand mentioned, now at least that also is getting some leverage. Previously, the brand mentions were not being considered in SEO side, but at least now, because of like AI acknowledged wherever your brands are mentioned, so that's there. And like Parth was already mentioning, I mean, links are nowhere going. Links are, I think, right now becoming more important. I would say even uh, like couple of previous old practices which we used to do. Uh, uh, I mean, creating all these different, like using the park domains, creating a lot of content around it. That is right now thriving. So links are nowhere going, and internal linking also is now becoming so important that the whole topical authority and like earlier when I was telling you about that people need to start thinking of not just single page, but as a website as a whole magazine, internal linking plays a very vital role there. Because if you have not linked your all the pages rightly towards each other, you will not be able to you will not like use you will not be able to give users and the engines the right messaging which you want to communicate.
Perfect. Parth, you want to add?
Yes, just a quick thought. In the classical SEO game, uh, there was page rank, and then internal linking was very crucial with respect to that. Apart from that, I think so. Very few took internal linking seriously. Very few SEOs, but they always wanted to jump on the backlinks, the external backlinks bandwagon, and started building links on a page, on a landing page or on a blog page. And after building 20, 30, 50 links, they like the backlinks is not working. But none of your internal pages are also referring to your page that you want to get a backlink. Why would external page matter to Google's algorithm? So that was the scenario like back in the day for classic SEO. But now internal links is all about journey continuity. It clearly signals what question should be answered next, both for users and for AI systems which are trying to train on particular context. So yeah, this is the stark difference going forward.
All right, and I recollect in couple of I guess it was couple of episodes back we had Udit here, and he also mentioned that TBNs are making a comeback. So keep an eye for those developments also. And I'm glad to see Jay here. Jay, I believe you are also building a very good SEO product, Radar Kit. If you just want to say something about what your product does and probably enlighten us.
Hello. Hi, guys. So, we're building Redakit. So, as of now, I'm in Doha, Qatar. We are exhibiting tomorrow. So, as you've seen all of the tools in the market, we are building something different. That is, we are tracking all the LLMs in their UI, as well as we are using residential proxies to do that. Because when you search something, let's say if you search best pizza, Though if I'm in Mumbai or if I'm in, let's say I'm in Qatar as of now, so if I'll just search best pizza, it is going to take the network as my IP, and then it is going to just suggest everything in Doha for me. So if I'm a restaurant owner and if I want to just see what is the response in US for any kind of keyword, let's say if it's a software business, if I want to just search best CRM, if someone is searching from the US, what is the response he's getting? If someone is searching from Qatar, what is the response he's getting? So we are just fixing that gap, as well as we have added another layer of writing as well. So you've used Surfer and Neuron. So those tools, they just use your the SERP data to create content based on the semantics and NLP topics and entities. But we have gone one step further, adding the LLMs responses as well. So we track all these LLM responses from their citation data as well. We try to give you the terms and semantics, so you can go one step ahead in creating content as well. So this is what we are doing as of now. If anyone wants to try, you can just DM me. I'll give you a 100% off coupon code as well.
Thank you so much. I guess Path can connect with you later and we can see
Amazing,
what
amazing.
can be done. But lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, jumping on the next question, and this also is kind of interesting because as SEOs, I know all of us love to talk about pillar content or pillar pages. But when it comes to conversational search, again, are pillar pages becoming obsolete, or there will be a rewrite of those pillar pages into more conversational form?
Um, I think so. This question is a technical SEO angle, in my opinion. Uh, so as we keep, if some of us are still using the Microsoft operating system like Windows and stuff like that, so we kept our folders organized in C drive, D drive, blah blah blah. Similarly, website is hosted on server, and if we keep our website structurally clean, um, it matters for enterprise brands. It matters for brands having more than 500 pages or more number of pages. Obviously, any bot, whether it's search engine bot or an AI search bot crawling your website, and like if you have a particular pillar page, if you have the right kind of depth for your pages, whether it's glossary pages, blog pages, comparison pages, testimonial pages, and whatnot. So this is specifically like very basic requirement. But earlier in the classic SEO game, there were a lot of nuances to it, subfolder structure, and then building authority backlinks on the pillar page, and then it passes on the page rank juice to the inner pages, to the branch pages, and stuff like that. So classic SEO is still here; it's not going anywhere. So yeah, but having said that, back in the day we were putting a lot of efforts planning the pillar content and pillar page and pillar stuff. Like we don't need to put as much effort going forward. We just need to do the basic hygiene stuff. And the conversations that happen on the pillar page will require a lot of depth, branching, and specificity. uh, for sure, one page cannot carry an entire decision journey anymore. So multiple pages with multiple different intents are required, and there's nothing wrong about pillar pages, but don't just put all the efforts building that structure. That's my 2 cents. But yeah, we have a lot many people on the panel: Jay, Isha, Deepak, and I think so Suchi has also joined, Sarvesh is around, Vimala is around. If you want to add your thoughts, please join us on the panel.
Sure, thank you. Isha, Deepak, you want to add something?
Okay, so I would say, Malar, maybe I mean, maybe I would sound old school, but I still feel that uh, pillar. I mean, I still cater pillar pages the way previously it was. The only thing which has changed for me is uh, like Parth said, maybe more from the B2B perspective, but I am talking more from B2C perspective because you can't see your product pages and your collection page cannot go somewhere anywhere else because in the end, when conversion is going to happen, it's going to happen there only. So I would say that pillar pages are going nowhere. But if you remember, few time back, even Gaurav mentioned the same thing, and I'm also observing the same thing that at least in the B2C space, e-commerce space, what we are seeing is that the collection pages, previously, the collection pages were all about just creating the collection. Now, collection pages are all about experiences. It's all about, of course, the conversation has to be part of it, but it is how you are adding it into that particular experience. Like apart from the collections, what you need to think through creating. So I'll give you a very basic example, maybe for one of a fashion brand which we are working on. So it's a basic general t-shirt which we are selling. But where are these t-shirts being used? So these are either used for your daily yoga wear, your daily gym wear, and these are also used in the office wear. So the collections has to be, and the styling has becoming very important. So accordingly, you need to start thinking from that when you are creating these pillar pages, your pillar pages are no more uh, uh, just your services. Your pillar pages are all about the stories which you want. It is more from the user side. You need to start thinking that those pillar pages. And second is the internal linking, which we already talked about, is now very important for these pillar pages. Third is uh, like FAQs, which was always a low hanging thing, is actually becoming a part of how we are solving the conversation side of it. And fourth is when we do the whole CRO and when we do CRO optimization, or when we do the complete the page design and the page elements perspective, we create specific uh, placeholders so that internal conversation is happening and internal authority is building out.
Oh, fantastic. And I wanted to refer to a particular conversation. I guess we had it over a year back. This was as part of the SEO Talk webinar, and this one happened with uh, I guess a guy called SEO Conspiracy, Laurent Borelli. Okay, this and I'm just tracking the videos right now, and it's like it happened on 3rd of April last year. Uh, the point he mentioned is going forward, right? The future of website is going to be each website will be an LLM in itself, right? And people will be interacting with the websites to find out or research on the product. While they are also going to do that, or they may be doing that on LLMs, you can imagine conversation also happening at a website level. So you'll have an interface on the website itself, where you can ask questions, and you could probably and the reason I could recollect this conversation based on Isha's response was, uh, say, a collection page is totally different right now. And if I put, say, three or four product website links on tools like a notebook, LLM, etc., I can interact on their content on a notebook LLM itself and find my answers as to what this product is doing or what it could do, the reviews and all this stuff, instead of me really going into those websites, etc. Right? So when that is the future of interaction, right? And because we are talking about the change in behavior of how people are going to search, right? What exactly are we looking at in terms of measuring success, because traffic may not be the primary signal of success. What are some other metrics that we should be looking at beyond traffic now, given the behavior of searching is changing or is likely to change?
Oh, that's the holy grail, the measurement tracking part of SEO. So I think so. Brand's presence across the journey is going to be very important. If a particular brand is being cited repeatedly, uh, does it appear often in the comparisons between the top players in that particular category? Uh, is the brand being referenced when a bunch of constraints or things show up, very detailed prompts? So now, as we all know that traffic is a vanity metric, it cannot answer these questions anymore, but it's about the credibility of a brand across the whole journey.
Ajay, if you don't mind me pulling you in, because you are also working on that tool. So, what are some of those metrics that uh, you could probably highlight from what you have researched or what is helping you build the tool? Sorry to put you on spot, but
It's okay. It's okay. No issues. So the thing is, regarding the pillar thing, I'm also I used to also do the. I mean, back in the day when we used to do SEO, we always used to keep one page that has a lot of content, and then it's it is being linked by a lot of pages, so making it a pillar page. But yeah, but nowadays I think it is more impact. It will be more impactful for RAG, because we used to use it for link juices back in the day, but now I think if you have one page, let's say if I'm making alternative pages for my SaaS, so I'll just keep one slash alternative page which is linking to all my other alternative pages blogs. So if in case the chat GPT or any other blog, it reads that main pillar page, so it will actually add it will spend less power to learn about my website than to visit a lot of its compute to learn about various pages. So this was also, I mean, this is one of our findings, that if you make all these bots spend less of their power to learn about your website, it becomes easier for them to cite you more. And as well as in our findings, we have found that the articles who are longer in terms of characters are being cited more. Uh, and that is one thing, stat I would like to share. So longer as in 2000 plus words.
Oh, fantastic. First, Deepak, if you want to add something.
I think so. That's pretty much what I wanted to add.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
Malhar,
Yeah,
before
yes, Deepak. Yeah.
uh, yeah, Malavi, before we go, I just have a counter question with Jay. So, I mean, can Jay, can you please explain more of your tool? Like, what are the metrics which you people are evaluating, which can be, you know, uh, I mean, I'm majorly talking from the agency perspective that, the question which Malhar has said is actually not just for agency, any digital marketer or other a person who's at a CMO or a marketing level. It's becoming a most important question right now to answer the senior heads, even to answer the investors, even to answer your top heads. So, since we all are working towards the different metrics which we should be evaluating in SEO, what do you think, like, you are doing differently, and how are you ensure, well, I mean, if you can just give more insights on your tool, that what are the metrics which you people are actually adding in your tool which can be used for all our future reporting?
Okay, Jay,
Hi.
I'm not sure if.
So sorry. Yeah. So, so basically, we are the most important metric that we are tracking that is bringing the most impact is the citation thing. So, what is the citation share for each website, be it Reddit, be it LinkedIn, be it YouTube, or be it any other website? For let's say for Zoho, Tech Radar is the number one cited source. So the citation share is the most important metrics that is impacting the results. So if I'm able to get my brand on the most cited domain over the course of, because I have seen this even Sparktoro, Rand Fishkin today, I guess today or yesterday, he published a report saying that for all the responses, uh, if I'm asking anything that includes 10 brands, let's say best video editing tools, if ChatGPT is going to mention 10 tools, the chances of it mentioning the same tools in the same order is very low. So I mean, it will mention the 10 tools all the times, but the order will be different each and every time. I mean, and as well as the sources too. So, but there will be few sources that will be cited almost all the times. So you can always use those. I mean, just connect with them or get a guest post or backlink or get a mention over that source which is being highly cited. And that is one metric that I would like to share.
Superb. I think Shubham is also around. So, Shubham, I don't know if you heard the question or if you want to.
Shubham is my brother. He's the technical co-founder. So yeah,
Oh, wow. Super.
yeah.
All right. Okay. I know we are just near the wrap up time, but I will still try to push in one. Uh, Again, something which is interesting, debatable topic, SEO versus AIO. Again, is AEO a new discipline or it's just SEO evolving under a new user interface? How are we looking at that entire game? Is the playbook different? Yes, Isha, please. A very agency point of view, you
Yeah.
can just tell.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think I would say that my pitch document now have that. So I have integrated that. So I would say that I would say AIO is now part of SEO. So we should stop comparing them and we should start marrying them and see that how it now it all depends on how it needs to be added in your strategy. It completely depends on the project, the brand, and the audience.
Okay, fantastic. Parth, Deepak, a practitioner point of view.
Yeah, I think so. AEO is a grown up classic SEO thing, I would say. The interface has changed, but as an SEO practitioner, the responsibility remains the same. It's all about helping users take better decisions, and at the same time try to earn their trust at the right point of the discovery journey. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think that you'll see that a lot of people they say that I am a local SEO. I do the only GMB things. Some people say that I'm just a traffic guy. So I think it's high time that there should be a classification for AI SEO as well. People were very in the denial mode that okay, it's not something that we should care about. But now, if you'll see that the traffic is actually growing, so I think it should be a thing.
Definitely, I was going to come to you last from a product perspective, but yeah, thank you for chiming in. I'm going to still put one small thing across and see if we can get some details. Yes, Deepak.
So when it comes to practice, I am SEO and I'm on the SEO side. And when it comes to flex, I am AEO side.
Nice. But again, so the thing that I wanted to come across last is And this because a lot of conversation on social platforms, whatever social platforms we are consuming, uh, I feel a lot of snake oil salesman kind of pitches coming in, right? People who really do not know what AI SEO really is, but they have been kind of perpetrating some theories, some vague theories, etc. Uh, Are they true, or just like what happened to SEO, where some of the fluffy stuff went out of the window after a certain time? Will we see the same kind of thing happening on AI SEO also, because a lot of playbooks are totally incorrect? But right now, because everyone is learning, everyone is interested, people can easily sell. The reason I ask this is because, from a community point of view, this becomes important as we want to ensure the members of this community or SEO at large are able to get the right information. So, how do we ensure that what is right and what is wrong? Where is that differentiation lying? Again, agency perspective, practitioner perspective, and a product perspective. If between three of you, if you can just share just the last one.
So I think, Malhar, I would just add one very important point here is that people should understand that even uh, AIs are till date taking their results from the web. And in the web, search is a very integral part of it. So till the time you are not present across search or across various places, you will not be able to even discovered in the AIs. So having said that, uh, maybe it is, I mean, I don't want to sound more rude on it, but it is like, SEO still is always the base of it, but SEOs has to also think from the brand side, that and when we talk about the content and the visibility perspective, that's the only change or the shift which a person has to have in the whole AI O playbook side. So if you ask me, the scope of work has not changed drastically from a basic technical SEO standpoint. The only scope of work which change in the AIO standpoint is the off-page and the content part, which has evolved more, and a lot of other other integrations have now came up as a very important part of it.
Thank you, Isha.
Agree to that, yeah. So my answer to this one will be like, we should always go with the data. So if you have the data, I mean, for anything based on your inputs and outputs, and since I have seen it, if I want to rank for a particular keyword, and if I analyze the share of voice data for a 1 month and see that, okay, this domain or this Reddit post or this subreddit is getting cited the most, if I am able to, SEOs were always infiltrators. I mean, we also used to buy guest posts back in the day. So if I can just, get a backlink based on the share of voice data that we are getting all these from all these LLM providers. So if it's making the impact, if it's just increasing your traffic or it's increasing your sales or conversions, then obviously it is going to be there. But obviously, a lot of the fluff things, like the people who are actually selling these AEO courses and stuff like that without the data, I think that should go away. So people who are hiding it, hiding whatever information they have, if they're hiding it, I think that will go away soon.
Superb. Parth, closing thoughts?
Yep. So, all in all, we are very much aware that the unit of optimization for AEO, GEO, whatever you call it, has changed from the classic SEO. And the brands that win will be the ones that stay present beyond the first answer. Uh, anticipate the second and third question, and design content for decision making and not just discovery. So yeah, that's about it for today's session. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining in tonight. It has been a great conversation, and we'll continue exploring how search is evolving week after week. We appreciate your participation, everyone who joined in today. I think so. Deepak has a question. Uh, Go ahead, Deepak.
So, as a community, what are we going to call it? AEO, GEO, SEO, classical SEO, AI SEO.
Hmm. I think GEO is already taken for all the geometry, geography, maps, and all. We should just call it AI SEO. I think this is by. Otherwise, Neil Patel is already calling it search engine, search everywhere optimization. So he's calling it SEO only. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I usually call it like SEO, which is search everywhere optimization, which also have AIO and GEO part of it. These are just the terminology which industry people are using. That's how I educate my people whenever they ask about these points. So I mean, I would say that you should just think of it's part of. So SEO is like your father, and all these are like the new kids which has came up. In the end, it's all part of the family.
Perfect analogy. Perfect analogy. Thank you so much. Lovely to have you guys. And yes, like I said the previous time, and sounding like a broken record, but just log into our website, the SEOtalkers.org. The recap of all the conversation in a blog format is there. And if you have a suggestion to add a tool, to add a guest on the podcast, let us know, and also webinars, etc. We are okay, open to all suggestions, and we'll be glad to host each of you here. So until next week, have a lovely week ahead. Have a super successful one. See you again with a brand new topic and something different. Cheers.